Hello everyone, welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host Tim. And today, we're going to be playing through Darkwood again. There will be some prep that you can skip by going down to the comments section down below, where there will be a pinned comment from me, allowing you to jump ahead to where we don't talk about Darkwood, in case you don't really want to listen to me prattle on about what the game is, why we're playing it again, how far I got in it, and such things. Right, that timestamp will let you jump ahead to where we actually just launch into the game, and after, I suppose, right before I choose a difficulty to play in. So, what's Darkwood? Darkwood is a survival horror game. It's a top-down game. It will work a little bit like a twin-stick shooter, but a slower-paced twin-stick shooter than most of those that I've played. This isn't something like Our Darker Purpose or Cryptark, which requires you dealing with multiple quick enemies all at once and firing lasers or what have you. We'll be having to take our time, explore different structures and houses as we approach them, and survive each evening in a hideout. We will need to accumulate resources to defend ourselves against the hostiles in this mysterious wood that we're going to find ourselves in. There's also a story to this game, a very good one in my opinion, so there is an ending goal to this game. Besides just surviving in the various hideouts, we will want to try to escape the woods, and to that end, we will need to beat the game. You should know that Darkwood, this is not going to be a blind playthrough of this game. I have beaten this game once before. In fact, I have that blind playlist on my channel in case you'd be interested in it. When I beat Darkwood, I also spent a lot of time reading other people's thoughts on the ending, and I discovered there were several different types of endings to the game. I also have played the game since that blind playthrough, on and off. I actually got pretty far about a few months ago. I meant to re-record this game, but didn't like what I was doing in Darkwood. I was doing a little bit of metagaming, which I'm actually not going to do. Right, but in any case, you should expect that nothing here is really new to me. I will be attempting to solve the puzzles a different way this time around, so that we can see a few different things from my last playlist. I am playing Darkwood again because it is my intention to begin uploading this series during the fall months. And during the fall months, I enjoy uploading creepy, scary, or Halloweenish themed type games to my channel. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and the fall my favorite season. And so, this game is pretty good. It's a very creepy game. And I was also in the mood to play something that I have played before. And I would be a lot better, hopefully, at Darkwood this time around than I was the first time around. Finally, when it comes to playing the game, you should know that I will be talking during the game. There's lots of text to read, people's thoughts, journal entries, text and logs as we find them, and the conversations that we have between us and different people. And so I will be reading all of these on screen, obviously, or maybe not so obviously. During the day, I will probably be doing a bit of talking about maybe what I would be doing normally in real life, besides just maybe huddling in fear and something of the sort. I'll talk about random stuff as we run around as well to keep it entertaining. But at night, and probably in some certain areas during the daylight hours of Darkwood, I will not talk, because I don't want to ruin the atmosphere and the theme for certain areas. So it's going to be a bit hit or miss, I think, with that, because it's going to be kind of arbitrary what areas I decide not to talk in. But hopefully at least you'll understand why when I'm in them. And I think that's it, everyone. Alright, so I'm going to go check on my voice and make sure everything's coming out okay. And assuming everything is, I'll be back to hit play. Give me a few seconds. Okay, everyone. My voice sounds like it's coming out okay. Let's go ahead and start a new game. I suppose there's one last thing I should quickly mention before we get going. Spoilers will be, everywhere here. So I will be talking about decisions I'm making. If I encounter a certain something, I might stop to talk about, after I'm done with that area, what I thought of it the first time I had done it as well. So I won't ruin any surprises or what have you before they happen, but afterwards I will try to recall what my original experience was. Just as a heads up. And I'll also probably give tips in case you decide you want to pick up this game for yourself. This way you can, if you do pick up the game yourself at any point before you finish watching me play it, I highly recommend you stop watching me play it, and you go and finish the game yourself. It's truly an amazing game. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? We have to pick a new profile. We'll choose the one right in the middle. Okay, and all the different settings. So, we absolutely want the prologue. There is way too much that happens in the prologue for us to skip it. Even though what happens here, to my knowledge, doesn't affect anything that occurs later on in the game, we still want to do this. We don't want to skip it. So, no for that. For Indiegogo content, I disabled this last time, and I'm going to disable it this time as well. I see the word immersion-breaking content, and I don't want an immersion-breaking game, as it were. I don't want the horror ruined by something that might be funny, so that will be disabled. Now, difficulty. The last time I played this game, I played it on normal because I was playing through it blind, and because, generally, when I play a game completely blind, I play on average difficulty. But I think I'm good enough to play this at least on hard, if not on nightmare mode. The difference between hard and nightmare is that on nightmare you have one life only ever. You die at any point, that is it. With the exception of dream sequences, which we won't get to for some time, I suspect. Well, probably till the next video. We'll play on hard mode. So we will have a certain number of lives, and if this number is ever depleted, that is the end of our game. We can increase this number throughout the game by finding some objects and ingesting them. You'll see that as we play, because I'm going to select hard. Alright everyone, here's our settings. Let's start. You are playing a challenging and unforgiving game. You will not be led by the hand. Respect the woods. Be patient. Focus. This game is very difficult when it comes to the combat. You can't make too many mistakes and expect to survive. This is especially true as the game continues onward. Each new area we get to will be progressively more difficult than the last one. And resources become something you're going to struggle to acquire, if I recall correctly. I see hatred and fear in their eyes. As if I was responsible for the spreading disease. As if I were the source of all the misery plaguing this land. I have nowhere to hide from them, nowhere to run. The woods have closed us off from the outside world. We are all doomed. Alright everyone, welcome to the game. Let's begin by examining a few things, shall we? We have some medical notes on the floor here. I know these notes by heart. I don't want to read them now. And what's in our table? A single pill, and a notepad. We'll be able to examine several items and we'll get a screen similar to this. Sometimes I think there is some hints as to what's going on with these objects, in so much that it's trying to tell us when things happened, give us some clues as to the history of the woods and the situation we find ourselves in, and try to establish a timeline of sorts for when the events took place. In that case, we just see a notebook. I don't really have any opinion about it. It doesn't look like anything in particular that I would, doesn't give me any hints that I can think of. Potatoes, the only edible thing growing on this land. I still have some left. A homemade device for producing moonshine. Dismantling this now would be suicide. The generator is almost out of juice. I need to find a full gasoline can. I saw a broken tractor to the east. Maybe I could find some gasoline there. Nothing in our shoes. Cages. Cages. This time they're empty. A chair. My old Zenith camera. I thought Zenith was the name of a company that produced cameras back in the 80s, if I recall correctly. Parasonic did as well. A photo. Now, when I look at this photo, everyone, if I look at the right-hand side of this, I see what looks like an eye here, a second eye, an open mouth, and this white is this person's hair. Here's their neck. This is a shoulder, and this is the other shoulder going down to an arm. That's what I see here. Very ethereal looking. Like a ghost. My old useless medical bag. And that's a hint that with the notes, we must be a doctor, I suppose. Oh, a cage with a single rag in it this time. I would rather not open it. I spent too much time to lock him in there. Oh! Notice as well that we see some dark movement in here. Like there's vines or something thrashing around. Whatever we... how to describe this? So, what we see in this room, because we cannot enter it, is based on our character's previous knowledge of what was in that room. So we must have seen this darkness there at some point. How we remember a room might be vastly different than what it actually looks like when we arrive. The lock is jammed a long time ago. Never mind. I used to keep useless junk in there anyway. Locked. I could open it with a lockpick. You can only select and interact with objects within your reach. The interaction range is indicated by the color-changing cursor. Things we can actually interact with will be interactable via the white cursor. If I was a little further away, the cursor is black, and we cannot quite reach that object. My bed. I've just woken up. The radio has been silent for years, although I sometimes think I can hear voices through the static. Looks like we have some notes about certain frequencies that we're interested in, based on the papers to the side. I think I used to have a radio that looked just like this, way back when I was a really young lad, back in the early 1980s. More medical notes, which we don't want to read. Some alcohol. Some matchsticks. Boards. Some rags. A key to the front door. And my medical book. I'm supposing, based on the introduction video we saw, that the doctor is unable to do anything for the victims of whatever disease is spreading through his community. We can see that he apparently thought he might have found something similar, or he might have found the disease that was spreading. We can see some notes highlighted, some things circled, and bookmarks here, with this being the third. I don't recognize the disease, though. It looks like maybe cancer? Although it looks like this lady, assuming you read this book from left to right, it looks like she recovered a bit. So maybe these notes here are about a potential cure. I best not enter this room right now. A lot of white sheets in that one. Unlocked with the key. A single nail and 7 boards. Looks like our dog is dying. A large humanoid doll with a carved out face. To this day, I don't know why people keep things that are creepy. I don't know why you do that. I have such bad memories of the movie Poltergeist terrifying me when I was a kid. That clown doll scared the hell out of me. My dog. I don't think he's going to make it. I should end his suffering. A destroyed well. A car that is embedded in the ground. It used to be a luxury, but since all the access roads have been devoured by the woods, it's become a useless pile of trash. The People's Tribune. Daily newspaper of the Polish People's Republic. $1970. Assuming this is about when... This is, well, maybe it's been a few years, but this is telling us that this takes place at least at the year 1970-something. President USA, something to USSR? Is that what that means? A destroyed well with some rope in it. We don't have any weapons yet, so we can't put our dog out of its misery. A bicycle growing it into the ground. It's interesting. I can't imagine how long has elapsed when this occurs. Or maybe there's been several mudslides. And a weapon. We have found an axe. I think we will put our poor dog out of its misery. To swing a weapon in this game, you hold down the right mouse button, and then, when fully charged, you press the left mouse button. Actually, it looks like you can just press it once immediately to make it swing as fast as you can, but you can hold the attack and wait as well. There is a swift attack you can make by pressing, I think, the middle mouse button, but it's not available to the doctor here. Notice that the weapon's durability is decreasing. In fact, we should talk about the durability and other things we see on the screen. Hold on. These trees are growing too fast. Soon I won't be able to cut them down fast enough. That's interesting. That makes it sound like the woods are unnatural. If he's referring to the fact that the trees are the size they currently are, snare traps. I must be careful. The woods are full of them. Can you imagine an oak tree growing from sapling to 50 feet tall? Well, 40 feet tall in 2 years? The dead cow has a bone in it. In the upper left-hand corner of the screen, we can see our life. That is the red meter. Our stamina is the white meter below that. Swinging a weapon will consume stamina. The amount of stamina consumed is dependent upon the weapon you are swinging and any upgrades you have done to it. A quick attack drains more stamina than a charged attack will. You also use stamina when you run. And you recover stamina slowly. If you run completely out of stamina via running, attacking quickly and often, your character will begin to make sound effects. And when he's out of stamina, he then, well, as you can see, must recharge it. Those circles you see next to my life, that's the number of lives I possess. When those run out, our game is over. Your position on the map is not marked. When you discover a new location, it will be added to your map. The location you are currently in is indicated in red. In order not to get lost, you need to learn how to determine your position relative to the discovered locations and landmarks. This map is similar to a map from the Thief Dark Project, the Metal Age, or Deadly Shadows in nature. We do not know exactly where we are, but we know where we are generally. As we find another location, I'll bring up the map again to show you how that works. Back to the things in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Our weapon, as you can see, is highlighted at the moment. Now we don't have any weapon. The more red a weapon is, the more durability it has lost. The woods have devoured all the roads that connected us to the outside world. No one is able to pass through this thicket. Yeah, did you notice that up here? This tree is growing out of the road. The woods must have sprouted even faster than from sapling to oak in a single year. It must have taken maybe a few weeks, if that. You'll note as well the line of sight of our character. We can see things directly, well, that are in front of us. Things that we do not have vision to, however, are darkened. You won't detect an enemy if it's sneaking up behind you. If you're not, obviously, well, you don't have eyes in the back of your head. So we just found another location, and now we can see we are here at the fallen tree. I guess we've been down this path before as well, because we have the general outline of this entire area on our map. We can immediately transfer items from an inventory to our, from this thing's inventory to our inventory by holding down Shift and left clicking. If things can be stacked, they will automatically be stacked. I suppose we've been out here before as well. I think we probably built that campfire. Back to, these parts of the woods are dark. I should craft a torch. We can craft a torch via one of these two means. We can either use one alcohol to craft it, plus all these other ingredients, a board, a rag, and a match, or we can use 1/3 of a gallon of gas, a tank of gasoline. We only have alcohol, so we'll do that. Whenever you craft using alcohol, you will gain an empty bottle afterwards. A heads up that in the prologue, your torch will not burn through any durability. That will not be the case when you get to the actual game. You can swing a torch like a weapon as well. That will also drain its stamina, if I recall correctly, in the normal game. Yeah, there is an abandoned house in the middle of the woods here. Roots, do you think? Not quite sure what to make of this. It can't be a tree that has fallen through the house. The walls are still intact on the sides. Some bread. Maybe we'll need some food. And a ton of rags. Let's move this out of the way. Anything behind this? No doors. Yeah, I don't understand what we're looking at here. It's like the wood was vomited out of the ground and through the building. In a few days, it will be completely absorbed. There's a corpse of a naked guy strapped to a tree. His clothes are on the ground. It's like he stripped himself and did this himself? And here, the upper body of a stag, the lower body of a human. And the same thing done again, but with a dog. The circles make me think that this was some sort of ritual. And notice that that it seems to actually be connecting as well. As if this is actually going to form some sort of other creature. And we don't remember these creatures being in these circles, because when we look away, they fade away. I think this one's still breathing. Big metal key. If there's an exit out of these woods, this key will surely open it. He's unconscious. I've never seen him around here before. He's only carrying a key in some journal. Since he managed to sneak in here, he must know how to get out. Of course, he won't help me voluntarily. But that is of no importance. I need to get out of this accursed forest. You hear me, rat? Show me how, and I will let you go. Sometimes I hear her voice. She's calling me. Calling me to return home. Where is the exit? Where? Show me where. I'll kill you like a dog if I have to. Fucker stole my key. I'm hurt. I could use these rags to craft some bandages and heal myself. Heals wounds, stops bleeding. Healing with bandages takes place over time. You can see our life slowly regenerating. An entry to a small cellar. Maybe the pantry? We can craft a lockpick as well. You'll note the meter of this up here. Once that fills with red, it will vanish, and we will stop regenerating life. Unlocked. A flashlight and a shovel. It's heavy, but it has good reach. The item is no longer usable. I'll need to repair the shovel. Who's there? Please, let me out. I had better not leave the house at night. It's safer here. A syringe in the medical tools. Judging from the syringe the doctor used on us, it looks like he uses syringes with metal needles. That's something. Oh, it's been a long time since I've been stuck with a metal needle. Blood on it this time. And the notes are slightly different. Looks like the good doctor is not so good. Judging how he treated us. A metal table with leather belts strapped on. It looks like torture is something he probably inflicts on those he captures. No juice in the generator. We'll need to find some gasoline or kerosene. A table leg. Very sturdy table leg. It's made out of oak. I can use it as a weapon. Gasoline. Usable. Fuels generators. Highly combustible. You'll note as we fill the generator, the durability on our gasoline tank goes down. Eventually, it will run out and we will discard it. Generators will burn through their power if left on. The corpse has 2 dials instead of eyes. His mouth is wide open, and I can hear a distorted voice, barely distinguishable from the radio static. Four, 8, 9, 2. 4, 8, 9, 2. Got it. The door seems stuck. I need to apply some force to it. help me. Come closer. A small plastic chick. The only item on this guy. And how do you want to get out now? You think you can manage all by yourself? Hear it? Chapter 1. Welcome to the game, everyone, and welcome to our first hideout. Let's examine a few things while we're here and get our bearings. A pleasant warmth is emanating from the oven. I can sense a strange yet familiar scent. It's the smell of the protective substance, which gives me relative safety after dark. The vapors rising from the huge cauldron are distributed all over the house via long pipes. As long as I remain inside my hideout, I have a chance of surviving the night. Okay, everyone, so it looks like someone found us out in the middle of the woods, someone else who wasn't the doctor, and deposited us here in this house, and has set up this strange device. We can see something being cooked both on and in the oven. And we can see the fumes coming out of it. And as it says, as long as we are around where these vapors reach, we will be protected from being instantly, or maybe not so instantly, but a guaranteed death outside of the hideout at nighttime. There's a weird bottle here. A syringe on the oven. Some pots and pans. And yes, some strange pot filled with pulsating roots and fungus. Examine the oven. When I arrived here a couple days ago, the oven was basically prepared. I just needed to light it up to ensure my safety at night. This cottage must have been one of our hideouts. The inhabitants of these woods don't need to inhale this revolting gas. Oh, interesting. So that tells us a little bit more of the lore and clears up some of the mystery. We're not from the woods, based on what we've just read here. And the smell of the gas is something we don't really want to experience, but it does protect us. We've also been here for a few days, apparently, and one of our hideouts makes me think that there must be then several hideouts. Look at the weird bottle. The label on the bottle says, Staying out of reach of the protective substance after nightfall results in an immediate death in 99 out of 100 cases. It is advised to evenly spread the gas inside the sleeping area. Warning: even a properly prepared substance does not guarantee 100% safety. Remain vigilant. It is recommended to stay in well-lit indoor areas in order to minimize the risk. That's a hint that we will not be safe inside the hideout, but we are at least not guaranteed death. Look inside the pot. A small empty cast iron pot. Now, I haven't used it yet. I haven't felt any hunger or thirst since the accident a few days ago. I can't stop thinking about one thing. These mushrooms, these red, pulsating mushrooms, they look so tasty. Maybe this pot will prove useful after all. A few things about the screen we're looking at. This is how you gain levels in the game. Every time you level up, you will have to pick, you will pick amongst one of several different upgrades based on the tier. There are 2 upgrades allowed per tier, and there are 4 tiers in the game. In addition to picking a positive upgrade, the first time you reach a new tier after leveling, you must pick a negative upgrade as well. It is here that I'm going to quickly mention that I was metagaming this a little bit. You see, the game is far easier if you never level at all. If you don't level, you don't have to pick any of the negative passives, and the negative passives are nightmarish to take, some of them. And so if you never level, you don't have to worry about them. However, if you don't level, you will miss out on the majority of the dream sequences, which give you little hints as to what is happening here. It is difficult to discern their meaning the first time through. The second time you play through the game, however, you will understand most of it and what the game was trying to hint at what was going on with the dream sequences. Dying in a dream sequence as well, to my knowledge, does not count as an actual death. Which means that if you died during a dream on nightmare mode, you haven't died. You'll wake up and you'll be able to keep playing the game. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is examine everything we see around us. We have a rag, 11 nails, and the photo of a road. The road home. Yesterday, I barricaded one of the windows. If I want to stay here for some time, I should do the same with the other windows. That means we'll need boards and nails. Neither of which, obviously, we have at the moment. Speaking of mushrooms, there's some mushrooms here. Walking on mushrooms will poison you. Any type of mushroom, to my knowledge. So we can bring the mushroom here, and we can cook it. We can extract 10 essence from this. Ovens have different efficiency levels. If we were to wait to reach another oven, this mushroom would be worth more essence. However, most objects that are worth essence deteriorate, and most will not last longer than a day. I think the most mushrooms will last half a day, if that. Once we reach 50 essence, we'll be able to inject this essence into us. I guess we're not eating the mushrooms either then, are we? A bed, a lamp. In the preparation for the evening, I'm going to begin outfitting the room a little. There's several different strategies when it comes to defending your home from invaders. I prefer to hang out in this room, within this hideout. We have several ways to flee a room if it comes down to it, and I find that to be of extreme importance. Okay, let's search. So I moved this lamp in this room because my intention is to move both the lamps into these 2 rooms later. A wardrobe. We have a rope, some alcohol, 2 empty bottles, and a mushroom book. The title reads, "The Use of Mushrooms in the Household." Seems like a strange book to keep. It doesn't really say cooking, but I'm supposing it was a rough translation. Okay, so that's all the interior furniture checked. More mushrooms. Well, we're going to take these and cook them. A generator. The generator is half empty. It contains enough gasoline for 1 more night. I should find a full can in the house above the underground entrance. A note? Turn on the generator before dark. Hiding in the shadows won't do you any good. They're coming either way. I've seen some people play this game, and they try to hide in the darkness. This note is a hint that that strategy is futile. It doesn't do anything for you. They know where you are if they hear you move or see you through a window. Having the lights on doesn't matter, so turn them on. Turn on the lights. We have a torch. It's been used somewhat. A matchstick and another rag. Like many games, inventory management is of the utmost importance in this type of game. We're gonna absolutely need to be efficient, which is why you see me running back to my stash very often. No wooden logs in the wood pile. We can rebuild the well, if we have 4 wooden boards. There's a little bit of fuel in the fuel saw as well. You can use a well to heal your life. It regenerates you quickly, but only once per day. The container here, I believe, this was an Indiegogo game, as we saw. If you were a backer of the game, I believe they gave you a code to that container, which contained a few useful supplies to make the beginning portion of the game a little easier for you, but nothing game-breaking to my recollection. Okay, let's look at our map. So, the game is a bit random. Where we're located in the dry meadow is randomly decided, as is the facing of the house that we started in. The dry meadow will generally always have the same types of building structures and landmarks in it, but these two will be strewn about a bit randomly, so we don't know for sure where anything is between playthroughs. I think the last time I played, this didn't look like this, and my house was in the upper left-hand corner with the underground entrance to the right, but it's been a long time since I played. Well, we're not going to get anything else done waiting around here, so let's head out into the world and try to find a few things. We should begin by going to that underground entrance. A corpse buried in the ground. A nail, some gasoline, and a wire. A rabbit! You can kill rabbits for their meat. Meat can be cooked for essence. Or you can eat it yourself to give you some slight regen of your stamina. And some armor, which will reduce the damage you take from being attacked. These mushroom patches are poisonous. You cannot collect them, but if you step on them, you will be poisoned. Crows, as they fly away, were generally eating something. We'll want to see what they were by. Another corpse. A wire, a rag, and more gasoline. We have 2 wire. Let's make a lockpick. Another corpse with more alcohol in it. What do you guys think of the prologue? So for me, I was greatly surprised the very first time I played it. I thought we were playing the Doctor. And when I took over as this guy, I realized suddenly that this game's going to be full of surprises. And we have found the underground entrance. Oop, we were about to walk right past it, though. In this game, it's very important to listen and to take your time and look around. You don't want to accidentally walk into a bear trap that's set, like this one, for example. I think bear traps killed me twice last game. They didn't kill me themselves, but they pin you for a while, and that's enough to get you killed. You can use... this is the house. I'll find the entrance to the underground here. Now, to my knowledge... Oh, I am going to do a little bit of metagaming in this playthrough. What awaits us down there is the knowledge that, well, there's some lore. However, if we go down there and then we leave, a certain section of down there will be inaccessible to us. We want to wait to go down there until we have a shovel. More pulsating roots, some clothes, some more rags, a nail, another lockpick, a lamp, more gasoline, a pack of cigarettes. Maybe this was the doctor's house. And 10 matches. Ah, judging from the marks in the floor, this has been moved multiple times. I don't see anything... Oh, there's a sack here as well. Another lockpick and some bread. Let's eat the bread. Do you see the picture of the lungs in the upper left-hand corner? What that means is that we are recovering stamina. Our stamina use will be reduced as we run around. Oh, can we... Uh-oh. Dog. I didn't even see it. I still don't know where it is. We can probably kill it with the torch. We could make another torch as a makeshift weapon. 2 dogs. We're not going to be able to kill them. Running on a road, by the way, reduces your stamina. Has a decreased stamina cost to it. So try to stay on roads and paths if possible. Okay, let's put the alcohol in here. I guess we'll cook the mushrooms. We should definitely use one of the things of gasoline. 3 lockpicks, that's amazing. Oh right, you can also... as you can see, stack gasoline. You can pour one thing of gasoline into another. And you should do that. I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't want to save space. In fact, we'll probably use both of these cans of gasoline. More rags we don't need. Matches we don't need. Okay, let's cook the mushrooms. One more patch of mushrooms and we can inject ourselves with that fluid. But I will wait until the next episode to do that. We totally want a full generator here. Next, you want to fuel a full generator. So that means as much gasoline is required to fill it. Okay, perfect. With the rest of this gas, let's dump this into the wood saw out front. Okay. You can run through doors, as you can see, to basically crash through them. Okay. We need another board to make a weapon. I guess we're going to make another torch, then. Because that will give us the option of fighting now if I need to fight dogs. Torch isn't the best weapon to use against them, but it does give us something. The dogs out here are good practice as well. I'll wait to describe any more of it until we actually have to fight them. Let's go north past the underground entrance. Maybe we can find some wooden boards. Oh, hello. A crate. Locked. I could open it. Oh my god. That scared the hell out of me. My printer just printed something. What? What? Okay. I'm nervous. I'll check it later. Maybe kill the rabbit? We can. We should probably cook that meat. But then I'll be leveling up once, and that means a dream sequence, and I wanted to wait till the next episode to do them. Something is over there, and it stepped on those Oh, a stag. And there's a corpse around here as well. Stags are very dangerous. They can kill you very easily. Another body. This poor bastard probably died of starvation. A single metal bit in him. Did he eat that? Oh my god. Eating metal. I can't imagine that. Nothing up there either. Another stag. Some guy drawing circles with a stick. Looks like he has antlers on his head. A dog. Let's try fighting it. The torch went out, and we have won. We get a piece of meat, and there was a shiny stone on the ground there, reflecting off our torchlight. That pack of dogs looks very dangerous, but with this piece of meat, we might be able to get them to leave us alone. Nothing in the shoes. Some gasoline. An empty bottle. Some rags. Oh! Not allowed to search any more of it. They finished that piece of meat. I have no more. And notice there is an orange tinge. And there's a camp. Wolf's camp. I can smell your stench from far away, meat. Even from afar, I can smell your putrid stench. Be glad I don't have an appetite for carcasses, meat. The figure hides its face under the hood. It smells of wet soil and fur. I know what you're after. I can help you reclaim what you've lost, if you help me attend to a certain matter. What say you, comrade? As he leans towards me, I can hear him giggling under the hood. I knew it would interest you. Before we make a deal, you need to prove that you can do the job. I have no time for weaklings, meat. You follow? Show me what you're made of. Get through to the Silent Forest. You think it's so easy? If I were you, I would prepare myself well before setting out. When you get there, you will find me in this spot. Remember it. The wolf grabs my map and scribbles something on it. The likes of you always crawl back to me. So we can trade with him, and we'll gain reputation, and we can use reputation to purchase items. Let's sell him our shiny stone, and we'll sell him this pill, and I'll take a toolbox. And in return, we'll be down 30 rep. I'm sorry, we'll be down 20 rep, and we'll have 30 left over with him. Deal. I'd avoid getting into trouble if I were you, meat. Or at least until you get a decent weapon. Let's show him the plastic chick. Beautiful item. Perfect for a church fair. Photo of a road? What's that you got there? The wolf snatches the photograph from my hand and studies it carefully. Finally, he snorts, his thick yellow spit landing on the photo. Ha ha! This road doesn't exist anymore, overgrown with trees, like all the other ones. The wolf throws the photo to the ground. Better forget about the road home, meat. Around here, all roads lead to nowhere. Okay, we're gonna actually eat this meat, because we need the stamina regen, because we need to make it home. This orange light is because it is sunset outside. And this is also not our home. That is the underground passage. I must return to my hideout before nightfall. Sounds like a dog or someone walking over there. Okay, we've made it back. Just barely in time. We have a weapon. We have a torch if it comes down to it, but we didn't find any way to barricade the windows. We found no wooden boards or logs that we can saw to make them. Okay, so let's spend some time trying to get in to the rooms I want to be in for the evening. I'd rather not fight in the dark. You can't really see anything in the dark, so we want the lamps with us. You'll go there. The stool doesn't really do anything. It just gets in the way. We're gonna push you outside. And leave you there, and then we'll grab the other light. We'll grab the other light. Maybe we'll leave it here for this evening, because it's about to be really dark outside. And we'll just move this light a little, like that. And we'll huddle in this corner and hope we're not seen. Oh, We should probably store the things I've picked up, though. That music means it's nighttime outside. You do not want to leave the safety of your hideout at night. You will die not instantly, but you're going to die very quickly if you're outside. Something will show up to kill you. We will probably see this thing at some point within the game anyway. During the night, time is passing quicker than during the day. You spend, I want to say it's 12 hours during daylight, might be more than that, and 10 to 12 hours at night. But at night, the minutes pass by twice as fast, easily, as during the day. But it won't feel like that when we're waiting in our hideout for dawn to come. There will be several random encounters that you'll get during the evening. They depend upon which hideout you are in, will determine the type of encounter that you get, as well as some of the passives that you've taken. In this hideout, I tend to stick with this strategy. Staying in the corner, examining the room that I'm in so nothing can sneak up and surprise me, and just not making any sounds, and hoping nothing decides to investigate. Do you hear that music? That is the coming of the dawn. It begins playing 1 hour before dawn arrives, if I recall. Might be 2. Day 2. We gained 100 reputation with the trader. Alright, everyone, so we've actually played for about an hour, so I think we're going to stop here. I like doing 2 days, so we'll be doing 2 days worth of Darkwood in an episode. Hey, Our mushroom's still fine. So we should cook that and level up in the next episode. Now, there's two things I want to point out really quick before we do anything. Or rather, at least this one very important thing. If you hover, well, two actually. If you hover over one of these things which show up in the upper left-hand corner, it will tell you a little bit about what is going on with this effect. We're in the hideout, so it will help us survive the night. We won't be instantly killed. We also have time freeze. Time will not elapse for us as long as we do not venture too far away from our hideout. This lets you actually go ahead and prepare for the next evening in the early morning. You can move furniture around without time being wasted, etc., etc. Do all the planning, all the gasoline refilling, make sure you turn off the generator, board windows, set traps. Do as much of that as you can do while you're in time freeze mode. Because obviously, you want to spend all your time, as much time as possible, exploring the woods around you. In my case, we're refilling the saw. I'm hoping we can find some logs and put that to good use. We'll also probably want to refill the generator. Let's see how much power was used for the amount of time we spent here. Also, note that we see roots everywhere. Pulsating, moving roots is what our mind tells us was here. But when we look, we don't see them. Interesting. A man, roughly my size, is standing before me. I can barely make out his disturbingly familiar features through the mate visor of his helmet. The massive helmet is covered with an old sack and seems to be an integral part of the unnaturally pale body. I remember him. He is the one who rescued me from the doctor's house. The man reaches out to me with his black hand. It's covered in charcoal. There's something written on his worn woolen glove. We need to stick together, brother. His lips are moving, but all sounds are drowned inside the helmet. He shrugs, then takes a huge sack off his back and drops it on the ground, revealing its contents. Okay, so we can trade items to him for other items. Well, before we go ahead and begin doing this, let's take a look and see. Describe a few more things before we call the session. So first, you might have seen me. Well, obviously, we clicked on the workbench quickly, but there's something about the workbench that we want to do. We want to upgrade it if possible. So right now, we can craft all of this stuff up to the board with nails. These grayed out items require our workbench to have been upgraded once in order for us to be able to craft it. It was the reason why I picked up the toolbox from Wolf. To upgrade the workshop, we need 6 boards and 17 nails at the moment. A future upgrade will require a toolbox, however, for the upgrade, which is why I purchased one in advance. So we're looking for some boards. Okay, well, we don't have anything, any boards, so much for that. We have some rags, we have some nails, some matches, some bottles, and that's it. But we are interested in upgrading, especially the first upgrade we want, because bear traps are very useful. Hotbar upgrades will increase the amount of hotbar slots you have by 1 and frees up 1 extra inventory space because of it. And then you have inventory upgrades, which will give you 2 more slots for your inventory. These both require fabric and rope. You can get rope from most destroyed or damaged wells. Fabric will have to be found or purchased from the trader. My first playthrough, I sold fabric, not understanding what I needed it for. That was a giant mistake. I made the game a lot tougher for me earlier on by doing that. The man takes a step in my direction and pats me on the shoulder. He wipes his left glove on his pants, takes out the charcoal from his pocket, and starts scribbling when I showed him the photo of a road. When he finishes, he lifts his dirty hand. All roads lead deeper into the woods. There's no escape, is what he's trying to tell us. Well, we could trade the mushroom, but I'd like to cook it next episode, so we can level ourselves up. So we won't do that. We have nothing I actually want to trade. Oh, but you know what? We can purchase some things from him. Yeah, let's do that. Let's buy all the boards he's currently selling. 10. He nods. Oh, by the way, whenever you interact with the trader, the game will save. Make sure that you do that before you quit the game. Also, we should turn off the generator, and we used, looks like, one entire bar, and then a fifth, or maybe a fourth of another bar. Well, we should refill it. I like knowing that I can spend at least 2 nights in a hideout. I keep wanting to say outpost. We can spend 2 nights in a hideout without needing to worry about fuel. Okay, and the wood saw is now completely filled as well. I have a tiny bit of fuel left that will be put to use tomorrow. Put to good use tomorrow. We also have some boards, so we can upgrade our workshop, or we can also, well, we can build a board with nails. Let's make a better weapon than our torch. Now, however, we don't have the nails we need to upgrade the workbench. Can we upgrade our board with nails? No, we need to actually upgrade the workshop first. Okay, well, at least we have some boards and some nails. Can we maybe bar another window? We can. Let's do it. Done. And that will be all the upgrades, the barricading I will probably do in this hideout. I don't feel like we need to barricade the other windows. The first hideout is the easiest to survive in. We will counter the least amount of enemies here, and the least difficult enemies here as well. Okay, well, that's enough babbling from me, everyone. I think we're done with this session. So when we come back, I might have moved some furniture around, move a few things into this area, but I'm not going to do any adventuring until the next episode. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it was entertaining, and hopefully we'll make it to the end of the game without losing all of our lives. I will see you guys in the next one, and take care, everyone. Thanks for watching.